Welcome. My name's Andy Hendren. I'm CEO and General Secretary of Wespath, and I'm here with Johara Farhadieh, our Chief Investment Officer, who's been in that role for just over a year, and with Eileen Kane, our Chief Financial and Strategy Officer, who has been in that role for 7 or 8 years, but has been at Wespath for 38 years and will be retiring at the end of this year. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Hi.
So, Johara, I wanted to start out on a personal note of congratulations. Johara was recently named one of Pension and Investment Magazine's 2025 Influential Women in Institutional Investing. That recognition came just about at your 1 year mark as CIO at Wespath, and it's incredibly well deserved. How would you describe your leadership style and how you've applied that here at Wespath in this first year?
Well, I want to start out by thanking you, Andy, and thanking you, Eileen, for your partnership and the award. It meant so much to myself, my family, my kids, and to my friends in the industry that sort of supported that effort. So thank you to both of you. And I can't believe it's been a year. It's truly been an honor to work with Wespath and the Wespath team. And so grateful for that. In terms of leadership style, I think we all sort of understood my leadership style as we got to know me. But really, it's been wonderful to be able to be more collaborative with the team and engage them to allow them to make decisions and empower them and hold them accountable for certain decisions. So we set up an investment committee where everyone has a vote on some of the big actions. Many of you know about the asset allocation committee that also gives input to the broader team, but just the way we do research, our investment process, manager selection, all of that is taken a more collaborative approach, but we really hold, the senior members of those teams accountable for making those decisions broadly and ensuring that we give our best to our clients. So for me, a collaborative approach, ensuring that we're effective, efficient, and really good stewards of our clients' capital is really probably the main leadership style. But you guys could tell me more about my leadership style.
Well, I've seen it in action, and what I think it's done is brought more creative and more challenging thinking to our investment philosophy, and it's future-proofed it. You've made it a replicable, durable process, and to me, that's a gift to our clients. So
Thanks, Andy.
so Eileen, your leadership has taken us Wespath through many decades. You've undergone a lot of transformational work. How is that? How does your leadership style and the core principles that you hold fit into all that history?
First, I do want to say congratulations. I think it was a very well-deserved honor, and it's been my privilege to work with you this last year to get to know you that much more.
Thank you.
I do really think that while I bet most of our employees wouldn't necessarily see Johara and I as having similar leadership styles, there's a lot of what Johara has touched on that I would echo as well. I think collaboration is key. Collaboration across Wespath is something that we've embodied for a very long time. Surrounding ourselves with talent, those people that are going to challenge us, as well as push forward with the same level of commitment to our clients, has been a really important thing. I think, embodying John Wesley and doing all the good you can. Never losing sight of our end goal has been another really important piece for me. The end goal, certainly, there's been pivoting throughout my career, being around so long, but really knowing that we're here to serve and to fulfill the missions of our clients, whether that be the clergy or the institutions, has been really important, and sometimes that's led me to be more comfortable in taking some courageous moves, I guess, and bringing others along in that. And then last but not least, I would say one of the big things in leadership has been, I worked for a leader. We worked for a leader that sometimes saw things in me before I even saw them myself. And I think I've tried to do that with my team in being someone that can help pull someone forward much more as we grow the organization.
Well, I agree with that, and Eileen, I credit you for seeing things in me that led me to this spot where I am today. So, you've given a lot to Wespath. Eileen is one of the hardest working people I've ever known in my life. So, Johara, let's talk about engaging with our institutional investors.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I know you've spent a lot of time engaging with them, getting to know them, understand their ministries, so you can be a better service provider to them. What's like a meaningful takeaway or story that you have from this first year of time with those clients?
Yeah, so it's been a pleasure to get to know both our institutional investors and our participants. And the more I get to know them, the better I'm able to understand how to really structure our investment products so that we continue to meet the needs of our clients. And for me personally, it's been a gift to spend time with clients because it's reaffirmed to me that I'm where I'm supposed to be in terms of being the CIO at Wespath. There were several moments in the last year where I actually took a moment to reflect on taking the leap of leaving an employer that I absolutely loved and then taking that risk to join the team here at Wespath. And some of those moments have been with our clients. One specifically was really around spending time revisiting their investment funds and how they're investing in their investment policy statement. And in doing some of that review, I was able to bring some of my experience directly to the client and share with them a little bit more about my experience working at nonprofits, whether it's the hospital that I'm on or the school board, that resonated exactly with that client. And it was like an aha moment for all of us once we did an asset allocation review that we realized that client could take on a little more risk, perhaps, to achieve a certain return while still being able to have liquidity for their distributions. So that moment really felt like there was an aha moment across the board between the client, the staff, and myself on how we continue to improve and be better investors. And then the second was spending time in Angola with you, Andy, and just seeing the impact that we have on clients across the globe and the ability to really ensure that we're taking care of those who serve and just knowing that we're representing everyday people that have given up a lot. And so the ability to make a difference every day, it's just not something that's lost on me. And I would say that that's the part that keeps me wanting to continue to be better and better every day.
That's great. And I certainly see that in you as you have deep relational skills and you have built a lot of goodwill and credibility for Wespath with our clients and showing them how much we care. So, Eileen, you've kind of seen the institutional investment business at Wespath from the ground up, from this nascent little support of some conference deposit accounts to what we are today. Maybe share an experience or two you've had with our institutional clients.
Yeah, it's been a phenomenal ride. I actually still remember pretty vividly being in Evanston and celebrating when we hit $3 billion in assets under management. I think that the things that stand out for me the most is recognizing that we were doing socially responsible investing or impact investing way before it was mainstream, right? We've had a history of positive social purpose lending and continuing to make impact, whether that be on our benefit side or even in the way that we deploy capital. And I'm really proud of the fact that the church has led that, and it hasn't been some, mainstream investment management firm that has done that. And I think I'm excited about some of the opportunities that Johara is leading to make that even more available to our clients in the future. I think the other thing would probably be the actual launch of Wespath Institutional Investments, WII, and frankly, Andy, some of your creativity. All of us at Wespath never want to have to say no to a customer. We were getting requests more and more as we did grow the business for how other institutions could get into this wonderful, socially responsible firm and all of the things we were doing there. And so that launch of WII, which has now been, 6 years in the making plus, has been a lot of grit, a lot of hard work, a lot of creativity, but a phenomenal, I think, solution to a business need that many clients are continuing to look to us to offer. And I'm excited about where it's going and what you guys are going to do with it. And I can't wait till you celebrate the next big milestone.
Oh, we're looking forward to celebrating milestones too. So I'm looking forward to celebrating you at the end of this year.
Yeah.
So you just described a lot of change. So kind of, Johara, what's your secret? What's your kind of approach to building trust and alignment when there is so much change happening?
Yeah, I would tell you it's not a secret or a formula or anything. Really, I would tell you my number one approach is just being authentically myself and just putting it out there. I am pretty transparent and direct, and so sometimes it comes across where it can land perfectly and understood, and sometimes it needs a little softness around the edges. So as much as I want to tell you I have a perfect way of leading, but one thing I could always tell you is I'm going to tell you the truth, and I'm going to try and do it in a more direct and sort of candid way. And I think that is sort of my natural way of being. So if you need me to be different, I don't know how to do it. And also, though, I have to say I was really fortunate. One of the first things you do in being new is really assess your team, and I have a phenomenal team here. We've added some really great members, but I'm grateful for Frank Holstein, Raj Khan, Amy Bolger, and Hua Kwak, who's someone new, not necessarily anymore, but newer to the team. And so by having them in leadership positions, it's really just helped me continue to be able to get to know our clients and focus on our investment philosophy and products and things like that. So I think together it's really, we're fortunate to be working in an organization where there is a lot of inherent trust and kindness. And so to walk into something like this only makes my job easier. So in having leadership like you and others here, I think together you guys are kind of helping me bring it all forward. So,
Oh, great, thanks. I have seen and experienced your directness firsthand.
yes.
Keep on being you.
Okay,
That's all I
thank
can
you.
say.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Eileen, as you mentioned, you've helped guide Wespath through denominational change, through internal organizational change. I know. What's your magic formula?
I don't know that there is one, frankly, and I think it certainly has evolved in all of those years. I would say bringing people along is probably number one, and thinking about change in the grand scheme of always considering the long term, but recognizing that in the short term there might be need for pivoting, right? I think have been some of the most critical things. Certainly I've been part of changes that have caused angst.
Yeah.
We always have a desire to make sure that we achieve the objectives of everyone, and I think eventually we get to some really solid points, but sometimes there's experimentation along the way, and I think relationships and trust that the two of you have built and are going to be critical to continue to have is what makes the big difference in ensuring that you can get the time you need to actually drive the change, because not all change is instantaneous, but I would say after living through some painful ones, all change is opportunity, and thinking of it that way is really important.
Yeah.
I think one of the things you just said about knowing when to pivot or persevere, I think that's one of the skills that you brought to this organization, at least in my time as working with you as a colleague and as your leader or manager, is that you bring some of the perspectives that need to be considered in, are we going down the right path or do we need to rethink? So thank you for doing that for so many years, for so many of us. So looking to the future a little bit, looking ahead, Johara, what are some of the priorities that you have on deck for Wespath, for the funds, and what excites you most about kind of our evolution in this institutional investing space?
Well, I feel like we spent a lot of this year sort of assessing a little bit and strategizing on what we want for the future. And the number one thing is continuing to provide our clients with what they need to meet their mission and goals. And that's really more choice. So I feel like any values aligned nonprofit out there or our current clients, we want to be able to provide them with investment options that make sense for their long-term strategies and needs. And so that's where I'll continue to focus, is expanding on our investment options. We recently, as of today, have launched the International Equity Index Fund, which is October 1st. So for those interested in that product, and then throughout the year, next year, we're going to continue to expand on our domestic equity and international equity offerings. Again, to create more choice and to build a little more customization for our clients based on what they've requested. And so continuing to build on our team and strengthen the team going forward. And of course, as always, continue to expand and grow our business on the WII side so that we can continue to offer excellent service for the long term.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, in juxtaposition to that, although it's also future-oriented, Eileen, what advice would you offer to your successor, Jennifer Serving, our incoming CFO who started today, as you kind of ride off into the sunset? What would you leave her as key advice?
I guess I would start by saying you're surrounded by fantastic talent. You've got tremendous leadership support and solid thinking there. You've got a phenomenal board of directors, and you got a workforce that is really, really committed to caring for those who serve and fulfilling the missions of our clients. And so all those things put you in this wonderful sweet spot of being able to do finance in a really meaningful, missional way. I'd also say you got this. I think your experience coming with the experience on both the benefit side of the business as well as the investment management side is such a sweet spot for this organization. I couldn't be more excited about the search that you did, Andy, and the caliber of candidates that you considered, and that Jennifer is our person. I am thrilled for her to start. I am excited about her taking the reins, and you got this, Jennifer.
Pretty. Yes, she does. Well, we're really going to miss you, Eileen. I know we'll be able to celebrate for the next couple of months, and we're desperately hoping you transfer as much knowledge as you can to Jennifer on your way out. But what are you going to do day one, first day of retirement?
I don't know.
Sleep in?
I don't know if I can sleep in. And you all know me well enough. I'm one of those project people and list people. And so there's a part of me that thinks my husband might regret the fact that day one gives me more time to work with him on that list. But I think in the long term, I am looking forward to more relaxing, more spying, more traveling, more time with my family and things like that. But I'm also going to miss all of you. I know I'm going to lose my mind for the first couple weeks, so bear with me if I start reaching out and interfering too much.
You could come back anytime, Eileen, anytime.
Well, it's incredibly well deserved.
Thank you.